Okay, we will wrap up the formal part of our media availabilities with the driver of the number 9 Napa Auto Care Center Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, and that is Chase Elliott. Chase, coming into this weekend, obviously you're looking like you need a win here at Phoenix to make the championship floor. Is that the mindset indeed coming into this weekend, and how you feeling?
Yeah, I would say that would have to be the mindset for sure. Takes some talent to get 80 points back in 2 weeks, but we've achieved it. So certainly self-inflicted. Hated I messed up last week as bad as I did. Really no excuse for that. But we're in the position we're in. It is, we're there. It's reality, and we certainly are going to have to win here to have a shot next week.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for Chase. We'll start with Jenna, Jeff, and then we'll go around the room. Jenna, I'm sorry, can you raise your hand one more time, please? Thank you.
I'll re-ask it.
Yeah. Chase, how do you manage the disappointment of being in this position, of having such high expectations and coming out of the second round and then boom, just falling back?
Yeah, I think just, we were in a tough spot in that second round too, so it's definitely not where you want to be, by any means. But I do think, just to still have a chance this weekend, I think is good. And I feel like our team's worked really hard to get us this far. We could have very easily not made it past Kansas and been out then. So, for us to be a part of this deal and to still have a chance, there's 3 races in every round for a reason. And you just can't let those first 2 weeks affect your mindset and your approach and your aggressiveness or your will to want to win in this last opportunity for us. Just because we're in a tough spot and it's our last chance to make it to Homestead doesn't mean it's over. We still have an entire race on Sunday. So I just think making sure you keep that in mind, and it can definitely be challenging to look and say, hey, I crashed on lap 8 last week, and that's not good, obviously. But you just have to approach this week as a new one and know that, hey, look, we still have a green spoiler right now, and if we win on Sunday, we can race again next week and have a shot at it. So it's just not over till it's over.
Jeff Gluck from The Athletic. What's the balance like this week when, obviously that happened and you have this opportunity? So are you dwelling on that at all, like beating yourself up over it, or are you just immediately focused on this? Do you go back and forth?
No, I had 475 miles to think about last week, so I deserve that, really, to ride around for 475 miles and think about it. And by, I would say about mile 400 of that, I was pretty much over it, and I was really just thinking about Phoenix. And during the race last week, I was thinking about Phoenix, and just thinking about what we struggled with here in the spring, and cruising around, just thinking about what we could do to be better. Obviously we were just in a position where we needed to finish, and my mindset had really moved on by the end of the race next week, and I was really just thinking about this weekend, thinking about practice day today and what we could do to be really good. And that's, at the time, that was really about all I could do. So glad that I was able to do that, and no, I'm not dwelling on last week at this point. We still have an opportunity ahead, and the opportunity's here right now, and we either make the most of it or we don't.
Any more questions for Chase? Go to Bob, and then the middle there.
Bob Postrace, Fox. There's been a lot of chatter about drivers potentially intentionally causing cautions when they've had flats. Is this anything NASCAR needs to get involved in? And from your perspective, from what you normally would think of what you should do if you have a flat, has that changed over the last couple of weeks?
No, I haven't really kept up with what people have said about it, but I would say the more that NASCAR is in a position to make tough calls like that, the worse it is. That's such a tough thing, and it's such a tough call. I don't know how you would ever get that right. I think that, like I said, I think the bottom line is the more they can stay out of it, the better, and to not be put in those tough positions. But I don't know I don't know what the answer is, or whether somebody spun out on purpose or not. I really don't know. I'm not smart enough to tell you what the solution is either.
Super obvious. Like, that dude totally spun out on purpose.
I can't say I've seen one, but I haven't watched last week's deal, so I really don't know. I heard about it, but I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you could sit there and you might have an assumption of so, but unless you're in that car driving it at that particular moment, do you really know for sure? I mean, no, you don't. So I don't know.
Cole Cusimano, Popular Speed. So you've been able to overcome adversity every round in the playoffs thus far. What do you attribute to that success in that regard?
Well, we had some good fortune at Kansas. I mean, I felt like we were in a position where we had to win that race, and we were in a position to battle for a win. Obviously, we didn't win, but things went our way enough to get through the round. So I think that to me was a good opportunity for us to kind of have our backs up against the wall and have to go perform. And I thought we did a really good job of having to perform. I thought we made we didn't win, but I thought we made the most of an afternoon that really wasn't going all that well. We were struggling on the long run and had lost a lot of ground, and we had a couple great pit stops there at the end and some good restarts to put ourselves in a position to win, and that's what you have to do. So I just think being put in that position was good experience, and whether you are in that position where you have to win now or 3 weeks ago, or if you make it to Homestead, you're going to be in that position down there. So I just think being comfortable with that is a necessity with the way this is, and there is no cruising and pointsing your way through at this point. When your back's up against the wall, you have to go perform, and I just think that the better you feel about that situation, the more you embrace it, the better off you'll be. So we're, as a team, I think we've, not that we have choice, but we've definitely embraced it. We embraced it at Kansas, and I'm really looking forward to the weekend. I'm not, really concerned over it or anything. We're just going to go and do our thing, have fun, and try to put ourselves in a position to win.
Any more questions for Chase or Reed?
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Just in looking at the Xfinity practice, given how high on the track the PJ1 is, do you expect it to be a factor in Sunday's race, particularly where you guys run 3 and 4 now?
Yeah, I don't know. Until you kind of get out there and see just how high it is, or how up the racetrack it feels. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't find a little bit of it on Sunday. I mean, you become, as your car starts to drive bad and you start bleeding whatever people are passing you, or vice versa, people are gonna hunt around and try to find some speed. So I could see it getting worked in, and the temperature being warm here, that stuff seems like it likes heat. So that might promote it some as well. But with our with the weekend being the way it is, and these races are kind of short out here in general, I feel like across the 3 series, it might take until Sunday to rubber up the rest of the racetrack enough to want to search up that high. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't think it'd be a bad thing if we do find it.
Jerry?
Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires. And you just said something about you can't let it bother you. You've got to move on. But you were one of the worst about beating yourself up after a race in the past. Has it been your success and where you're at now that's kind of changed that? When did that switch happen to where you can put it behind you and continue to focus on and not beat yourself up?
I don't think I never didn't put it behind me. I still do. I still look at last week and, just like I said last week and just like I said today, I mean, doing something that dumb is, there's really no excuse for it. Crashing by yourself and ruining your day and putting yourself in a worse points position is never an excusable act from a race car driver's standpoint. So I don't think it was ever that I wasn't able to put it behind me. I think it just depends upon when you guys ask the questions and what kind of mood I'm in. But I think at this point, we're in Phoenix and I've moved on. And as a team, we know the position we're in right now. And, yeah, it kind of is what it is at this point. We either run good this weekend or we don't. And if we do, we have a chance next week. And if we don't, we'll go to Homestead and try to, build a notebook for hopefully an opportunity down the road that we do.
Jeff?
I've heard you say the term self-inflicted a lot this playoffs, even relating to engine stuff for the team as a whole. Are you a believer in racing luck at all, or is everything that happens in a race somewhat self-inflicted in your view?
Yeah, I mean, there might be the occasional thing that, kind of odd or whatever, but I just really think a lot of it you do to yourself, whether it's, putting yourself, like I know there's been times in my career where you qualify bad and you're back in the pack and you crash early in the race, well, don't qualify bad, and you wouldn't be racing around that group. And then, like last week I crashed, right? So that's my fault. And then I look at the engine failures we've had and the parts failures and stuff, and some of those things, we are better than, and we should be able to do a better job. And I think as a group we are better. And I don't point fingers. I say we, because I'm a part of that as well. And the engine shop didn't come banging down my door on Monday because I crashed on Sunday. So we all have that respect for one another, and I think we all hold each other to a high standard of want to do well. And I think that's the standard that everyone as a company and as each department needs to hold each other to a high standard. If not, we're gonna struggle and get worse. So we all need to keep each other propped up and make sure we're all doing each other's jobs. And I think that's part of being good and being honest with with your entire company, and everybody being able to be transparent, because if we're all lying to each other about the jobs we're doing, then that's a whole nother problem. So I like the fact that we can take it on the chin and do it as a group, and struggle as a group, and do well as a group. And I think that's really important.
Any final questions for Chase? Once, twice? All right, Chase, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks.
Good luck on Sunday.